Okay, I welcome everyone once again. Thank you for joining us today. So today we have two topics to talk about. We're going to talk about white paper, and we're going to talk about transaction ID. So I'm going to start with the white paper. So basically, white paper in blockchain space is a document that helps to outline the main features of the technical specification of a specific cryptocurrency or blockchain project. So a white paper provides the overview of the essential data in the form of like diagrams and more details about the structure of the project, who is working on it, and the current and future development plans. It's just like a business plan. So like if you want to submit a proposal to a company right now, it has to contain the information about the business, how the business is going to look like, the plans you have for the business, what you expect, so cryptocurrency white papers are often taught as like business plans as well for crypto project. So it's because they provide, investors with a comprehensive project overview. So white papers are usually released before the cryptocurrency is launched so that, from the starting point from which a crypto project lays out the direction and the intention of the idea behind the cryptocurrency. So if any company want to launch any cryptocurrency, so they always release what we call white paper. So white paper will contain the diagram, the information about the project, what you have to know. And if a white paper doesn't give a detailed information or doesn't answer at least 80% of your question about the project, then that means the project is not it's not something that you can, maybe invest in, because white paper always shows how the cryptocurrency is going to work, the idea behind it, the technology behind it. I'm going to share with you example of a white paper. I'm going to share you Bitcoin white paper, how it looks like. So let me. So you can see, we all know Bitcoin is a coin that was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. So, and you can see this is an example of a white paper. So this is Bitcoin white paper. So as you can see, it has the introduction about the Bitcoin. So, we don't have the time to go through it. So, but if you want to have it, I can share the PDF, in the chat section. So you can see the first thing is introduction about the coin, what it's all about, the financial structure, what is in, they explain everything about the cryptographic proof instead of trust, which means like bank, allowing any two willing parties to transact directly with each other. So it gives you the brevity of, the idea of the, how Bitcoin will function, what their plan is. This is transaction with define an electronic coin as a chain of digital signature. So each owner transfer the coin to the next by digital signing a hash of the previous transaction, which make it a block. So we spoke about this in our previous class, and we have public key and everything. So you can see like they explain how the transaction will happen by the time they launch the Bitcoin. So timestamp server. So when you connect to when the transaction become a block and they record it in a real time, so which added to the previous block to make another block, so continuously. So which means if you go online right now and you track any transaction, you can see that the transaction will contain the block ID, the date, the time, and not just time, even the seconds. If it is 10 minutes, 23 seconds, so the blockchain record, the exact time when the transaction took place. So it's a timestamp server. So if you send the funds like maybe 3 days ago, you're gonna see 3 days, 28 minutes, 10 seconds. So you will see the exact time when the transaction took place. So they have the proof of work, which is, the hash, the block hash, and everything. So the SHA-256 is how they use it to, to generate the hash ID as a proof of work. We explained this in our previous class, and we show how Bitcoin use SHA-256 to confirm transaction. So we have network. The step to run the network as follows: new transaction are broadcast to all nodes. We say something about nodes, how they, how the verified transaction, each node collect new transaction into a blocks. So we explained this in our previous class. You can see there's a detailed explanation on the white paper, the incentive by convention, the first transaction in block special transaction. So they explain everything: reclaiming disk space, simplify payment verification, combining and splitting value, privacy, calculations, and everything. So this is example of a white paper. So I'm very sure if you go through this, you will have like at least 70%, 80% idea of how the the coin is gonna function. So this is not only for crypto project, it can be for NFT project. They call it light paper. So you find like, something like this that talks about the project. So they always put this out there before any launch of any cryptocurrency. So they put it out there for people to know what they are investing in. So if they like the project, what the project is going to look like, the technology behind it, what will happen by the time they launch it. So this is example of white paper. So Bitcoin has their own, Ethereum has their own white paper. So, and so on and so forth. So this is what white paper is all about. So moving on to transaction ID.
Before we move on to transaction ID, we forgot to mention this class has nothing to do with Miracle Cash or Cashlane FT, as always, for people who join newly. So please keep in mind that this is the project that we're doing to teach people separately than, Cashlane, Miracle Cash.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, so moving on with transaction ID. So transaction ID, is a unique identifier that represents a transaction. Each particular transaction on blockchain has its own transaction ID. So transaction IDs can look very different depending on the platform and payment system. So the transaction ID on Ethereum is different from the transaction ID on TronScan, is different from transaction on blockchain. So each blockchain explorer has their own unique identification. So in most cases, each transaction key will, is just a random alphanumeric letters. So if you ask me, why do you need, transaction ID? What is used for, and why do you need transaction ID? First thing is, if you have to verify any payment, you need transaction ID. So if you are someone that multiple people send you payment and they just send you transaction that, okay, I've sent $2,000 to your account. Okay, give me proof to your wallet address. Give me proof. So because if you go to your wallet address, you just see like a couple of people send you transaction ID. Couple of dollars. So you look at your balance, for example, you have $4,000 and 10 people sent you, different amounts that are accumulated to $4,000. So you're gonna ask each and every one of them, send me the transaction ID for this for any amount you send to my account. Then I will verify it, that I can know that this transaction came from you. So we're gonna look at different scan. So we have like, I think we have different Explorer to verify transaction ID. So we have the blockchain, so which the website is blockchain.com. We have the TronScan, TronScan.io. We have the TronScan, TronScan.org. We have the Binance Scan. We have the BSC Scan, which is the Binance Scan. We have the Polygon Scan. But mostly people use TronScan, Ethereum, and blockchain. So people engage in NFT project and all, they interact with Polygon Scan, BNB Scan, Binance Scan. So just for NFT. So, but when it comes to transaction, buying, sending a fund from one wallet to another wallet, so people uses, blockchain, Ethereum, or TronScan to send funds. So we're gonna see. So let's start with blockchain. Let me see. Let me share my screen again. So this is blockchain, blockchain.com. This is Blockchain Explorer, whereby you can verify any Bitcoin transaction. Only Bitcoin transaction. So what does transaction on Bitcoin, on blockchain looks like when you send your Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet? So this is an example of transaction ID. So you can see it consists of, numbers and letters. This is 44EBFA, like it consists like almost like, I think 66, sometimes more than that. So they are longer than, you can't compare them with wallet address. If you can see, maybe wallet address would be something like, just maybe 42 or 30 something, alphanumeric numbers, but transactional IDs are always, like long text. So how do you verify transaction on Blockchain Explorer? So first thing you want to do is come to.
How do you know also if it is if we have to go to blockchain, Explorer or Ethereum? Because most people, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna reach that. So let me just show quickly because of our time. So, and after this, I'm gonna show you how to know if this is, you have to go to TronScan, if you have to go to Ethereum, if you have to go to blockchain. Okay, let me quickly say something on that. So generally Ethereum, if you want to verify any transaction, it always starts with 0x. So if you receive any transaction ID and it starts with 0x, so do not stress yourself, just go to TronScan.io. So on TronScan, you can find the transaction, you can locate the transaction ID. So when it comes to Tron and blockchain, so Tron sometimes can start with anything, sometimes letters, it can start with numbers. Same thing as Bitcoin. On blockchain, it can start with letters, it can start with numbers. So if you receive any transaction ID other than 0x, so it's either you go to TronScan or blockchain. If you track it on TronScan and you couldn't find any information, go to blockchain and track it on blockchain. But if you receive any transaction ID that starts with 0x, just go to TronScan. So any transaction ID that start with 0x, just go to TronScan. So, but if you receive any other transaction ID that start with maybe numbers or letters, first thing, go to TronScan. If you can't find any information, so go to Blockchain Explorer, you will definitely find the transaction. Okay, so for example, this transaction now, it start with numbers. So if you check another transaction, it might start with letters, maybe he or something. So what you can do is check on TronScan. If you can't find it, check on blockchain. So but if you receive any transaction ID that start with 0x, so you definitely go to TronScan. So this is blockchain. This is how blockchain looks like. Blockchain.com Explorer. So to look for the transaction for this particular transaction. So as I said before, blockchain record a real-time transaction and they distribute it on a public ledger. There's a real-time stamp, which means if we track this transaction right now, we're gonna know the time, the date when the transaction took place. Okay, so for example, so I'm gonna look at this transaction. So you can see it bring out the information. So you just click on this. So first thing to look out for is if the wallet is coming, if the transaction is coming to your, comes to your wallet address. So you have to know your wallet address. Go to your crypto wallet. If anyone send you any funds, master, maybe you're gonna write the first 5 digits of your wallet address and the last 5 digits. Don't use 4. Use 5 first digit and the last 5 digits. Write it down, and by the time you track the transaction, so where the funds are coming from is really not it's not a big deal. You don't need to look after that. So you need to look after if the funds comes to your wallet address. So I want to say this: sometimes when you're tracking on blockchain, you can have more than 400, more than 200 outputs. So for example, right now you can see fund was transferred from this wallet to multiple wallets. Okay, so what happens in this case is there are some crypto platforms, they have their own designated wallet address, their own custodian wallet address that they use to distribute all transactions. So even when you make a transaction in your wallet address, they still have their own custodian wallet address that they use to distribute the transaction, which means this wallet address is designed to distribute all transactions that occurs on their platform. So sometimes when you go to your wallet address, you may not find any transaction information that occurs in your wallet address, which means, like I can give an example, like crypto.com, they does that. They have their own personal custodian wallets that they are using to distribute transaction. If you make any transaction and you go to your wallet address, you won't find any information. So they have their own personal custodian wallet that they use to distribute transaction. So for example, this wallet address is one of them, and you can see it's sent to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6. Sometimes you can find 300 output. So what you have to do is to look for your wallet address, and as I said, write down the first 4 digits of your wallet and the last 5 digits of your wallet address, the first 5 digits and the last 5 digits. So you come to where the fund was sent to, so, and you start looking for your wallet, for your wallet address. So you can find right here, there's a wallet address that ends with PW3, there's another wallet, there's another wallet. So look for your wallet. You can find the value, which means the exact amount that was sent to your wallet address. This is for blockchain, and blockchain is one of the complex chain that when it comes to tracking of transaction ID, you have to be careful. So you have to be careful so that you don't maybe look for a wallet address that is similar to your wallet. Sometimes they can be similar, so you just have to be sure that to pick the right wallet address, which is your wallet address. So as I said before, if we want to check the date when the transaction was made, at the top right here you can see the block ID, the time, the input value, and when it comes to, I said something about the real time stamp. So you can see like this funds was made like on the 2nd of September 2023, 7:47 p.m. So 2nd of September. So you can find the information. This is the block ID, and this is the date, 2nd of September. So if anyone said, okay, I sent you funds on the 4th of September, blah blah blah, and they send you transaction ID, you can find out if the fund was sent on the 2nd or on the 4th of September. So this is how you look out for this is how you look up for any transaction on Bitcoin. So we have another blockchain explorer, which is TronScan. So the website is tronscan.io. So let me see. Hold on. So this is tronscan.io, and this is where you can track all Ethereum transactions. So I told you, anytime you receive any transaction ID that starts with 0x, just come to TronScan directly. So their network protocol is ERC20 and their base is 0x. That is what they use, 0x. If you go to TronScan blockchain, you won't be able to find the transaction. Come to TronScan, and you will be able to track your transaction. For example, so I just paste this transaction ID. You can see it starts with 0x. So if I copy another transaction, which is for Bitcoin, and I try to paste it, you see it doesn't start with 0x. So you see, sorry, unable to locate this transaction hash. So the blockchain will not recognize it. So any transaction, only transaction that starts with 0x, so that means this transaction occurs on Ethereum chain. So you have to paste a transaction that starts with 0x. So same thing, the way you can locate the value of the transaction, the time when the transaction was made, the same information you can find on every blockchain explorer. So this is TronScan. So you can see the transaction ID on the top here. So we start from 0x. So you can find the block, the timestamp, 2 days, 5 hours ago. 2 days and 5 hours ago. So October 7th, 2023, 3:55 p.m. So UTC. So you can find the transaction value for $10,000. Here you can see where the funds is coming from, and to, which means where the fund was sent to. So, and the transaction value is 10,000 USDT. So the same information that you find on blockchain, you find the same information on TronScan, you find the same information on TronScan. So, which means you just have to go to the right place to look for the right information. Going to the right place to look for the information. So if they send you transaction ID, if you know where to go directly, you wouldn't have problem or waste any time. So if they send you any transaction that start with 0x, okay, I have to go to TronScan. So if they send you any other transaction ID other than 0x, it's either TronScan or blockchain. Now when it comes to TronScan, we're gonna go to TronScan after this. When it comes to blockchain, if you go to blockchain and you can see like multiple outputs, as I said, you just need to find your wallet address and you can see the value and the time when the transaction was made. So blockchain, you can see multiple outputs. Don't be scared, just keep checking and look for your
Gideon, I had an experience last week where someone sent me a transaction and a screenshot, and so their wallet address was not what I had in my wallet, and I said, that's not your wallet address and it doesn't add up, so send me the transaction ID. We'll have to track it. So again, I didn't realize that there were three, like what you're explaining now, the TronScan, blockchain. I found the right one, and I found that his CoinSpot wallet, it left his CoinSpot wallet, but it went via Binance, and it came into my wallet from a Binance wallet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
CoinSpot, Binance, and then to me. Which is why I never got his wallet address. I got Binance's wallet address.
Yeah, because they have a special custodian wallet address. They are using, as I said, to distribute their transaction. Crypto.com use the same thing, and most wallet address, they are using that. The idea is to protect your wallet address. Okay, so if anyone try to track your transaction, your activities, like how much do you have and everything, so they can't find like all those information on your wallet. So if they want to find any transaction, so they have to look after, go after the main company wallet address, which is very difficult. So that's why they are trying to protect your funds, like to make sure they protect your wallet address and some information on your wallet. So as I said, there are some crypto platform, they use a special designated wallet address as a custodian wallet to distribute the transaction. So always request for transaction ID. So there's no way you will send a transaction or perform a transaction on your wallet that they will not provide transaction ID for you. That's why transaction ID is very important. So they give you the transaction ID to track it on the blockchain. So when you have the transaction ID, you know the right place to go and to extract the information that is needed. So on Hit and Scan, as I said, you just have to come here, you find the same information from which wallet address is coming from and from which the fund was sent to, the value, and so this is the value of the transaction fee, gas price, and everything. So gas limit, you remember we spoke about this the other day, gas limit and everything. So so this is about Hit and Scan. So we are gonna look at what TronScan looks like. So do not forget, and one more thing I forgot to mention about Hit and Scan. So when you use ERC20 network protocol, that is when you have to track your transaction. That is when, even when you send USDT out of your wallet address, if you choose Tron to send, TRC20. So we have different network protocol. We have BEP20, we have TRC20, we have ERC20. Whenever you use ERC20 to send funds from your wallet address, that is Hit and Scan. So that is Ethereum network protocol, ERC20. So whenever you use TRC20 to send funds from your wallet address, that is TronScan. So you are using Tron protocol, Tron network protocol. So when you use ERC20, so USDT support ERC20 and TRC20. So if you use ERC20, that is Ethereum network protocol. So you have to go to Hit and Scan. So by the time you use TRC20 to send funds to any wallet, that is TronScan, protocol. So for example, to save yourself the stress, if anyone want to send you funds and you provide them your wallet address, depending on the wallet address network you provide for them. So if you provide wallet address for ERC20, which is Ethereum wallet address, the transaction ID, you can always track it on Ethereum. If you provide Bitcoin wallet address, you have to go to blockchain to track it. If you provide TRC20 wallet address, you have to use Tron to to track the transaction. So this is what TronScan looks like, and let's just track one transaction on Tron and to see. So you can see this transaction right now. You can see it start with numbers, just like the one we did on blockchain. So as I said, if you want to save yourself the stress of going trying different blockchain, so depending on the wallet address you provide for the sender, for whoever is sending funds to your account. So if you are sending TRC20 wallet address to them, So you come to TronScan. If you send ERC20 wallet address to them, you go to EthanScan. So this is what TronScan looks like. So this is a transaction ID. If you click on the transaction ID, so you can see from which account and to which account. You can see the value. It's so simple. You know, they also have the timestamp. So time 3 days, 14 hours ago. So this 6th of October. So you can see the owner's address, the contract address. Contract address means the contract address for the token for TRC20. So, and after that, so this is just how you can track transaction. So this will be all for today. So this is about transaction and white paper. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. It was amazing. I hope you guys learned a lot from today. We don't want to give you a lot of information because it gets too much. For next week, we're preparing something different, on demand and supply, which is actually like, I am from the economics department, so I like to talk about demand and supply, or or maybe physical policy or monetary policy, something that is different to crypto. So I hope you guys will be here for next week as well. Thank you so much.